This is Valley News Live at 5.
A racist sign asking someone to prom in Big Lake, Minnesota is getting a lot of attention. It's prompted black students in the district to share their experiences of prejudice. Reporter David Schumann spoke to them about how they feel their classmates with the sign should be punished.
The blatant racism of the so-called promposal sign is unnerving. The two Big Lake high school students smiling as they hold it, maybe more so.
I was outraged. I just felt this the whole time my kids were going to school, so for it to finally come to light, it was very shocking.
Jennifer Allery's kids are biracial and have shared the halls with the students in the picture. She's not sure what the school can do, but says there needs to be accountability. Her daughter, Janaea, a senior, has her idea.
If those kids are going to be allowed at prom, then it's not going to be a welcome place for everyone.
She doesn't even want to go. She feels out of place once again.
The district said in a statement it's addressed the actions of the students involved, but can't disclose how because of privacy laws. The boy's father told me the family is receiving threats about this, but wouldn't say anything further. The girl's mother also had no comment on what's going on. Extra social workers have been brought in to help process any trauma from the incident. The district also says it'll work with civil rights leaders to hold discussions on racial issues.
We're almost glad that it came to light because it's always just been swept under the rug.
Jaden Dimka says he and his siblings have encountered racism at school many times from other students, teachers, and coaches.
His gym teacher, he threw a sweatshirt at his head and said, "Cover up your head," just because he had curls. He'd come home sad, anxiety, puke on the bus because he genuinely not want to go to school because he felt different.
A spokesperson says the district doesn't condone or accept racism in any form. In Big Lake, David Schumann, WCCO 4 News.
The district says a janitor at the high school has been put on administrative leave for using a racial slur in a video. Firefighters are responding to a reported explosion that happened at a chemical plant this afternoon. Witnesses reported a series of explosions at the Manor chemical plant in Missouri. An officer near the scene said the smoke from the fire is dangerous due to the chemicals burning. According to St. Louis County Police, everyone within a half-mile radius of the fire has been evacuated. We're learning more about the fire in Emerado, North Dakota yesterday. A 14-year-old boy is being called a hero for his quick actions in helping to put the fire out. Flames broke out in the 1700 block of 22nd Street North just after 3 in the afternoon. Authorities say a grass fire got out of control and destroyed a home along with several vehicles. Tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we'll hear the steps this boy took to protect his community. We're also learning more about a car that suddenly caught fire on I-29 in Fargo this morning. It happened on the side of the highway near 52nd Avenue South. 3 people were inside at the time when they noticed something wasn't right with the vehicle. The driver pulled over and everyone was a safe distance away when the car ignited. The fire department says it was due to a mechanical issue, most likely with the electrical system. No one was hurt, but the car was destroyed. 2 juveniles are now facing potential charges in connection with a fire at the former Mid-America Steel building in downtown Fargo. Police say no further information will be released since they are under the age of 18. The fire happened on April 11th, and authorities determined it was intentionally set. This was the second arson case at that building within a month. The first fire took place on March 22nd. Riley Keeping was caught and charged in connection with that case. The 2 other persons of interest in the case are juveniles. Sure would be nice to roll into the weekend with weather like today, or even better. Before we get to that, though, let's check in with Hutch to find out about this evening. How does it look, Hutch?
Well, I think wind is a common factor all across the area. Many of us starting out with some very chilly readings today. We've warmed up a lot, but it remains breezy as we look in at our home of economy location in Devil's Lake. See the orange on the map at south and west, near 70 degrees for those locations. Still cool up in Badette, 51 degrees for you. Our coolest weather this evening will be in northern Minnesota. We do have a few clouds rapidly passing in those gusty north winds. The radar's showing some green moving through Richland County, but I don't think any of that's reaching the ground. So your planning forecast looks like this. Cloudy and windy right through sunset. After that, we'll have clouds west and clear skies east. Temperatures again look mighty chilly in the overnight hours with 30s and even 20s for some. Andrea, I'll have details on that Friday forecast that as a warm front moves through will come with some growing pains. I'll spell all of that out and we'll look ahead toward that weekend we've been talking about so brightly here in just a couple of moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. The man accused of spray painting racist graffiti on a Moorhead mosque now claims he did it as a joke. Benjamin Enderle is charged with harassment and criminal property damage. A woman who works in the loss prevention office at Dilworth Walmart says they found sales of red paint, and court documents state that Enderle was seen on surveillance video buying red spray paint the day before the incident took place. Court documents say Enderle admitted to the vandalism and that he did it to get a reaction out of the community. If convicted, he could face up to 6 years behind bars. A Bismarck woman was arrested after Grand Forks police found her naked lying near Columbia Road this morning. While investigating, officers discovered a recent break-in at the Girl Scouts Dakota Horizons building. It was determined that the woman, Elizabeth Burns, is a suspect in that burglary. She had minor injuries to her arms and feet and was taken to the hospital before going to jail. A Valley City man is now charged after being accused of sex acts with a minor. Cole Meridian faces 1 count of gross sexual imposition. The victim in this case told the school counselor about unwanted sexual contact after she told her father, and he didn't believe her. Court documents say Meridian laid on an air mattress with young girls and touched at least one of them inappropriately. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump is calling for police reform on Capitol Hill. Crump joined George Floyd's brother at the Capitol today, along with other relatives of several black men killed by police. The group first met with Senator Chuck Schumer and later had a meeting with South Carolina Senators Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham. Crump said the Republican lawmakers listened to the families and agreed to pass meaningful legislation on their behalf.
So this was about them understanding that this is very real to all of us, but it means more to these families than anybody else, because that legislation will literally have the blood stain of their loved ones.
President Joe Biden is urging Congress to pass a police reform bill by next month. So far, the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act has passed the House, but has stalled in the Senate amid Republican opposition. On the Senate level, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is urging the Senate to take immediate action on police reform. He's advocating better ways of handling minor traffic stops, like the one that led to the shooting of Daunte Wright. Walz says he wants Minnesota to come out of this tough year as a beacon for other states, hoping to make law enforcement more effective.
Let's figure out a better way to move folks into that restorative track, and that way to give the support that's necessary, rather than to the confrontation that can lead to the incredibly heartbreaking outcome that we saw.
The House recently passed a bill that would ban traffic stops for expired tags or window tint, restrict no-knock warrants, and expand the power of Minnesota's Police Oversight Board. Part of the measure was inspired by the police shooting of Daunte Wright, who was apparently pulled over for expired tags. North Dakota lawmakers have now passed the budget for the governor's office, and it gives him more freedom on how he can spend his salary. Governor Burgum has a history of donating his salary to charities and other causes, but this bill will allow him to use those dollars on other items within his office's operations.
We allow the governor to use that money as he deems appropriate, either to donate it, of course, he can do that after getting the wages, or he can spend it other places within the agency.
Burgum's salary for the 2021 through 2023 biennium will make up $284,475 out of the $4.5 million budget for the office, which is a bump of $300,000 from last biennium. The bill also allows the governor's office to accept and use federal donations for events and conventions. Some North Dakotans are missing the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Up next, why health experts say you should get that shot.
This morning, many communities were missing heat. It was cold, 20s out there for many as we got going, but the sunshine went to work, and even though we were windy from the north, temperatures warmed nicely. Your hour-by-hour forecast, and Weather Kid returns to the studio. Join me. The weather is next.